everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I do crochet tutorials every week, and for this tutorial I will show you how to make this strawberry cluster with a little loop here so you could hang it. For this project you will need bright green yarn and rosy too. I am using the one from I Love This Yarn brand, and this is on medium waisted weight yarn in cotton. I'm also using a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. You will also need a darning needle to weave in your ends and scissor to cut your yarn with. Alright, first we need the green yarn, and we need to make a slip knot. Alright, and we need to make 19 chain. So to make 19, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Alright, and we need to slip stitch to the 12th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're gonna go in there and just make a slip stitch. Right, and we are going to single crochet the rest of the chain. So we should have 7 here left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 this is the last chain. Right, and that completes row 1, and we are going to turn our work, and in this first stitch here we're gonna go in and make a single crochet. So single crochet and chain 1. This will count as our first double crochet, and we are going back to the same stitch and make one double crochet. And then we are going to chain 1, and we are going to put 2 double crochet into the next stitch. Okay, that's one. I'm going to go back to the same stitch and put another one. That's 2, and we chain 1 and go into the next stitch and put 2 double crochet. And that is the repeat for row 2. So we chain 1 and put 2 double crochet the next stitch, and you repeat that all the way across of row 2. So we chain 1, 2 double crochet into the next stitch, oops, go, and we chain 1 and 2 double crochet the next stitch, it's 1, that's 2, chain 1, 2 double crochet the next stitch, 1, 2, chain 1, and we 2 double crochet the last stitch here. That's 1, and that's 2 there, and that completes row 2. Alright, before we continue for row 3, we should have a total of 7 double crochet cluster here. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 here. Now we're ready to change color, so I'm going to chain 1 here, and I'm going to cut my yarn, and I'll pull this all the way through to make a knot there. Now we're ready to begin row 3. Okay, so we're ready to bring our second color here. We are going to turn our work so the tail end would be on our right side, and I'm going to attach the rosy yarn or whatever yarn you picked to this first stitch here. So you go under the first stitch, and we are going to make a chain 1, and then we're going to go back to that same stitch and make a single crochet. Alright, and we chain 1. This will be our first double crochet, and then we're going to go back to that same stitch, and we will make 2 more double crochet. Oops. It's 1, and that's 2. And now we are going to work on the chain 1 spaces, and we're going to put 3 double crochet. So find the chain 1 space and work in 3 double crochets. It's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and find the next chain 1 space and work in 3 double crochets. It's 1, 2, 3, and into the next chain 1 space, work 3 double crochets. That is the repeat for row 3. Two, and 3 double crochet into the next chain 1 space, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and find the next chain 1 space and put 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Now for this last one, we are just going to do 3 double crochet in this stitch right here, the last stitch of row 2. So we're gonna insert a hook here. If I could go under both loops, that would be great. Okay. That's 1, and here is 2, and there is 3. So that completes row 3. Alright, we should have total of 8 3 double crochet cluster here. So if we count our cluster, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're ready to begin row 4. For row 4, we're going to turn our work, and into this first stitch here we are going to make a slip stitch. Oops. Whoa. Slip stitch and slip stitch the next 2 stitches. One, and slip stitch the next one, and 2, which will bring us to this in between the cluster here. We're gonna go in and make a single crochet, and chain 1. This will count as our first double crochet. We need to go back into this space here to make 2 double crochet. So that's 1. Need 1 more. And that's 2. And between the cluster we are going to make 3 double crochets. So into this space here, make 3 double crochet. That's 1. Two. And 3. And that is the repeat for row 4. So working on these spaces between the cluster, we are going to put 3 double crochets all the way across. So find the next space and make 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Find the next space and make 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Into this next space, we'll make 3 double crochets. 2, 3. Into the next space, 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And into that last space here, we're going to make 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. So that completes row 4. Okay, at the end of row 4 we should have 7 cluster. So if we count here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we're right on track. And now we are ready to begin row 5. So for row 5, we are going to turn our work, and into the first stitch we are going to make a slip stitch. Okay, and into the second we are going to make a slip stitch as well, and into the third we are going to make a slip stitch, and it brings us to this space here between the cluster, and between the cluster we're going to go in, make a single crochet, and we chain 1. Now this single crochet and a chain 1 will count as our first double crochet, so we need to go back to the same space and make 2 more double crochet. That's 1, and that's 2, and now we're gonna find the next space and work 3 double crochet. Okay, that's 1, 2, and 3. So that is the repeat for row 5. So we're gonna put 3 double crochet in between the cluster. So in each of the spaces we'll put 3 double crochet. Sorry, I'm grabbing more yarn here. Alright, so working on the next space, put 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, and into the next space we'll put 3 double crochets. Two, 3, 1, 2, 3, into the next space, or our last space, we work 3 double crochets. That's 2, and that's 3. So that completes row 5. At the end of row 5 we should have 6 3 double crochet clusters. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're right on track, and now we're ready to begin row 6. For row 6 we're going to turn our work, and again slip stitch to the first stitch, and slip stitch the next 2 stitches. So go into the next stitch and work a slip stitch into the next stitch and slip stitch. Now that brings us to this space here, and into the space we're going to go in and work a single crochet and chain 1. This will count as our first double crochet. We need to go back into that same space and work 2 more double crochet. That's 1, and that's 2. And now we're gonna work in the between clusters, so in the space we're going to work 3 double crochet, it's 1, oops, 2, 3, find the next space and work 3 double crochet, and that is the repeat for row 6. Okay, and find the next space and work 3 double crochets. It's 1, 2, and 3. Find the next space or a last, work 3 double crochets. Right, and that is the end of row 6. The end of row 6, we should have 5 cluster here. So if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I'll also weave in my ends here, so that way I don't have to worry about so many tail ends at the end of my project. And of course you could weave in your tail ends anytime you want, but I just wanna do that to get that out of the way. So for row 7, we're going to turn our work, and into this first stitch we're going to go in and make a slip stitch and slip stitch the next 2 stitches. Oops. Right, so that's 3 slip stitch there, and it brings us to this space here between the cluster. Into this space we're going to go in and make a single crochet and chain 1. Okay, and this will count as our first double crochet. We need to go back to this same space and make 2 more double crochet. Right, now find the next space and make 3 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and that is the repeat for row 7. Alright, so for each of these spaces, we're just going to put 3 double crochets. So go into the next space and put 3 double crochets. Two, and 3, and into the last space 3 double crochets, two, and 3, and that completes row 7. At the end of row 7, we should have 4 clusters. So if we count 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we are ready to begin row 8. For row 8, we turn our work, and into the first stitch, we're going to go in and make a slip knot. Okay, that's one, and I'm sorry, slip stitch. So we are going to make a slip stitch on the first one and then slip stitch the next 2 stitches here. Okay, and that will bring us to this space here between the cluster. We're going to go into the space and make a single crochet and a chain 1. The single crochet and a chain 1 will count as our first double crochet, so we need to put 2 more double crochet into the same space. It's 1, 2 there, and find the next space and work 3 double crochet. That's 1, 2, and 3, and into the next space or our last space, work 3 double crochets. It's 1, 2, and 3. So that completes row 8, and we should have 3 cluster at the end of row 8. Now for row 9, we're going to turn our work, and into the first stitch we are going to make a slip stitch. Okay, and slip stitch the next 2 stitches into the next stitch, and slip stitch the next stitch as well, and it will bring us to this space here, and into this space I'm going to go in and make a single crochet and chain 1. We're going to go back to the same space and make 2 double crochet. 1 and 2. Now into the next space between the clusters, we're going to make 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3, and that completes row 9, and we only have 2 cluster at the end of row 9. And for row 10, we're going to turn our work and slip stitch the first stitch, oops, and slip stitch the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and go into this space here and work 1 single crochet and chain 1, and into this same space we're going to work 2 double crochets, that's 1, and that's 2 right there for that space. And this is the end of row 10. We only have 1 cluster, so we're gonna chain 1 and we're gonna cut our yarn here, and we are going to pull that all the way through to make a knot and weave in the ends. Alright, I've weaved in my ends here, and this is what the finished project looks like. And if you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, I do crochet tutorials every week. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you won't miss my future uploads. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.